That means there's a possibility they can make a new pandemic with the spraying of new viruses that can produce it, for example, in this gain of function, what they already done it in the last pandemic.
Completely correct again. Any time they want. And they can do much worse than that. If they feel they're really losing control, that the public is waking up and the public is going to go looking for them to hold them legally and morally accountable, they can disperse something much more lethal, like a hemorrhagic fever, Ebola, Marburg, and they can level the playing field overnight, anytime they want. That should be kept in mind.
I had an interview with Dr. Heiko Schilling, and he wrote the book. He explaining that the new pandemic will be with bacteria who will attack our microbiome. Is there a possibility maybe they can spray this bacteria with this technology, and then after that they can continue with the new pandemic and new plans what they have? Of
course. It's not only possible, I would at this point on the current course expect that to come. And if we look at what happens when you completely disrupt these microsystems on the planet, if we look in the forest, again, forest microbiome is all but dead. There's no decomposition on the forest floor. The entire microbial system has been annihilated. And we're seeing crop collapse right now. If we look at the whole global picture, if I can give a quick synopsis of how bad it is. Plankton population collapse. We have, yes, many factors affecting plankton. We poison the oceans. There's nuclear contamination. There's all these problems, and I admit to that. But what's the bigger problem that's not being addressed? The loss of the ozone layer, geoengineering, the biggest single factor destroying it. Now we have this intense UV radiation that's hitting the sea surface. Plankton have to feed in the upper layers of the water column. They're being fried by intense UV radiation and heat. So in the Atlantic, we have peer-reviewed study now to prove the plankton populations are down 90%. That's a crash. No plankton, no people. That's the biggest oxygen-producing source on the planet. And the other oceans aren't far behind. That's the base of the food chain for life on Earth. So now we're seeing fisheries collapse all over the globe. Global pelagic fish populations, the food fish, down 90% right now, today. Terrestrial and aquatic insect life down 80 to 90% right now, today. Crops are collapsing around the globe. The species extinction rate right now, today, is 15,000 times the background rate. That's 1.5% of normal. Nothing normal about that. Bottom line, Earth's life support systems, the entire web of life, is collapsing right now. If we continue on this course, we're done. And again, I'm not saying if we stop climate engineering, our problems are over. That's not the case. You can't just undo the damage that's been done. But if we allow the planet to respond to the damage done, we could at least buy time. And that's worth fighting for.